In the quiet moments of our lives, when the world's noise fades away, we often find ourselves facing a profound choice. The choice between blending into the comfortable anonymity of the crowd or stepping out into the uncertain territory of standing alone. It's a choice that many of us face, yet few truly embrace. But today, I want to talk about why choosing to stand alone might be the most powerful decision you'll ever make. Think about the last time you felt that pull, that gentle but persistent tug urging you to conform, to fit in, to follow the well-worn path that others have carved out before you. We all know that feeling. It whispers to us in moments of doubt, promising safety in numbers, security in similarity. But deep within you, there's another voice, stronger, clearer, more authentic, that calls you to something greater. Let me tell you what real courage looks like. It's not always about grand gestures or dramatic moments. Sometimes, the most profound courage is found in those quiet decisions we make when no one else is watching. It's in choosing to pursue your dreams when others say they're impossible. It's in standing by your principles when it would be easier to compromise. It's in speaking your truth when silence would be more comfortable. The world we live in today is designed for conformity. From the moment we wake up to the time we rest our heads at night, we're bombarded with messages about how we should live, what we should want, who we should be. Social media feeds us carefully curated versions of reality. Marketing tells us what will make us happy, and society hands us a script for life that we're expected to follow without question. But here's what they don't tell you. The most extraordinary achievements in human history came from people who dared to stand alone. Every breakthrough, every revolution, every meaningful change started with someone who was willing to break from the crowd. Think about the great innovators, the dreamers, the change makers. They didn't change the world by following the beaten path. They carved their own. Standing alone doesn't mean you're against everyone else. It means you're brave enough to be for yourself. It means understanding that your unique perspective, your individual journey, your personal truth has value. It means recognizing that conformity might be comfortable, but it rarely leads to growth. When you choose to stand alone, you're not just making a single decision, you're embarking on a journey of self-discovery. It's a journey that will test you, challenge you, and sometimes even break you down. But here's the beautiful paradox. In those moments of seeming weakness, you'll discover strengths you never knew you had. There will be days when doubt creeps in like a shadow at sunset, gradually darkening your resolve. Days when the weight of standing alone feels almost too heavy to bear. Days when the easiest thing would be to step back into the crowd, to let your unique voice fade into the chorus of conformity. These are the days that matter most. These are the days when your courage is forged. But let me be clear, standing alone isn't about isolation. It's not about turning your back on others or rejecting connection. Instead, it's about being so secure in who you are that you don't need others' approval to validate your worth. It's about building relationships from a place of authenticity rather than necessity. It's about attracting people who appreciate your true self rather than an image you've created to please others. The irony is that when you truly have the courage to stand alone, you often find you're not alone at all. Your authenticity becomes a beacon that attracts others who share your values, your vision, your courage. But unlike the false security of the crowd, these connections are built on genuine understanding and mutual respect. Consider the price we pay for conformity. Every time we silence our inner voice to echo the crowd, we lose a piece of ourselves. Every time we choose the safe path over the right path, we diminish our potential. Every time we let fear of standing alone drive us back into the comfort of conformity, we trade our dreams for someone else's version of reality. But when you choose to stand alone, something remarkable happens. You begin to understand that your worth isn't determined by others' approval. Your success isn't measured by how well you fit into predetermined molds. Your happiness isn't dependent on meeting others' expectations. You become free, truly free, to define your own path, to create your own measures of success, to live life on your own terms. This freedom comes with responsibility. When you stand alone, you can't blame others for your choices. You can't hide behind the crowd when things get difficult. You must own your decisions, your actions, your life. But isn't that exactly what we're here for? To live fully, authentically, completely as ourselves? The world needs your unique voice. It needs your individual perspective. It needs your personal truth. In a world that increasingly pushes for conformity, standing alone becomes an act of courage that ripples far beyond your own life. Every time you choose authenticity over approval, you create space for others to do the same. Think about the moments in your life when you felt most alive, most fulfilled, most proud. I bet they weren't moments when you were following the crowd. They were moments when you listened to your inner voice, when you took the road less traveled, when you had the courage to stand alone. The path of standing alone isn't easy. It requires constant renewal of your courage, regular recommitment to your truth. There will be times when the temptation to rejoin the crowd becomes almost overwhelming. In these moments, remember why you chose to stand alone in the first place. Remember the strength that comes from being true to yourself. Remember the freedom that comes from authentic living. Your courage to stand alone today creates ripples that extend far into your future. Each time you choose authenticity over conformity, you're not just making a decision for the present moment. You're shaping the person you're becoming. You're building resilience that will serve you in future challenges. You're developing wisdom that comes only from walking your own path. The world will try to tell you that standing alone is risky, that it's safer to conform, that the crowd knows best. But ask yourself, what's riskier, standing alone in your truth or losing yourself in the crowd? What's more dangerous, facing the uncertainty of authenticity or the slow death of conformity? Your unique perspective, your individual journey, your personal truth, these are gifts you bring to the world. When you have the courage to stand alone, you give these gifts space to flourish. You allow your authentic self to emerge and grow. You create possibility where before there was only conformity. Remember, the crowd doesn't have your dreams. It doesn't carry your purpose. It doesn't hold your truth. These belong to you alone, and they're worth standing for. They're worth fighting for. They're worth being uncomfortable for. Remember, the crowd doesn't have your dreams. It doesn't carry your purpose. It doesn't hold your truth. These belong to you alone, and they're worth standing for. They're worth fighting for. They're worth being uncomfortable for. As you leave here today, I challenge you to embrace the courage to stand alone. Not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Not because it's comfortable, but because it's true. Not because it's safe, but because it's right. Your unique voice matters. Your individual journey has value. Your personal truth has power. The world doesn't need more people who blindly follow the crowd. It needs people who have the courage to stand alone, to speak their truth, to live authentically. It needs people who understand that true strength often comes wrapped in solitude, that real growth often happens in the spaces between conformity and courage. So stand tall in your truth. Walk boldly on your path. Speak clearly with your voice. The courage to stand alone isn't just about being different. It's about being true. True to yourself. True to your values. True to your dreams. And in that truth, you'll find a strength that no crowd can give you and no opposition can take away. Your journey of standing alone starts with a single choice. The choice to be authentically, unapologetically you. Make that choice today. Renew it tomorrow. Stand firm in it always. Because in the end, the courage to stand alone isn't just about being independent. It's about being free. Free to be yourself. Free to pursue your dreams. Free to create the life you're meant to live. The path ahead may not be easy, but it's yours. The journey may be challenging, but it's worth it. The destination may be uncertain, but it's authentic. And in that authenticity, you'll find not just courage, but purpose. Not just independence, but fulfillment. Not just strength, but true freedom. So choose to stand alone, not in isolation, but in authenticity. Choose to walk your path, not in fear, but in courage. Choose to speak your truth, not in defiance, but in conviction. Because when you have the courage to stand alone, you stand in the power of who you truly are. And there's no force more powerful than that.